Welcome, everyone. This is a new chapter. This is chapter 12. This is 12-1. And in 12-1, we're going to be doing converting units of measure. Now, we've kind of done this earlier in the year when we converted meters to centimeters, or centimeters to millimeters, and vice versa. Okay. And there was one very, very important thing that we needed to memorize, and it had to do with this particular concept. I'm going to draw you this triangle, and I'm going to explain it. Okay. If this is the big end of the triangle, and this is the small end of the triangle. Okay. If you picture we're taking a unit and we're making the unit go from a big to a small, we're going to multiply. Okay. For example, a big unit like feet going to a small unit like inches, we'd multiply. If we're going from a small to big, we're going to divide. And that would be like going from inches to feet. Okay. Now, that's one way to look at it. And if you want, you could write down or I would even pause the video and copy the triangle, and then copy down this next thing that I'm going to write down for you. This is the most important thing that you can do in this chapter. And this is the main rule. Okay. If you're going from a big unit to a small unit, you're going to multiply. If you're going from a small unit to a big unit, you're going to divide. Take a second, pause the video, copy that down. That's the key. We're going to always give you the information on what you need to do to multiply, and I'm going to explain that next. But if you know how to do that, and you know what you need to do, whether it be multiply or whether it be divide, you will be fine. Okay, so take a minute, pause the video, copy it down. Now let's try a few. Okay, let's say that we have a table and we're going from feet to inches. Now here's what we know. That's going from a big to a small. So for us, we're going to be multiplying. Now let's see what we're going to multiply. Let's fill out the chart. Let's say this is what we have. Okay, if we have 1 feet or 1 foot, then that's going to be 12 inches because there are 12 inches in a foot. If I'm going from big to small, and I know that there's 12 inches in a foot, for this one, I'm going to do 2 times 12 to give me 24 because I'm multiplying because I'm going from big to small. For the next one, I would do 3 times 12, which is 36. And for the next one, I'm going to do 4 times 12, which is 48. I'm going from big to small. Okay? Let's do another one, big to small. Let me see how I do another table. I'll just do it again. Let's go from yards to feet. Okay, again, big to small. Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm not expecting you to know this, but I know that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So that means I'm going to multiply each of these numbers by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going from big to small. 3 times 3 is 9. I'm going from big to small. And 4 times 3 is 12. Right? Now, all of the information as far as how many inches are in a foot, how many yards are in, how many feet are in a yard, how many miles are in how many feet are in a mile, how many yards are a mile, all that information will be given to you. Okay, the most important thing you need to memorize is big to small and small to big. All right, so let's try some. Let's try some without the tables. Okay, my question is, I have 3 yards. I want to know how many inches that is. Okay, well, I'm going from a big unit to a small unit. So I'm going from big to small. I'm going to multiply. Big to small is multiply. Okay, well, I need to know how many inches there are in a yard. I'm going to tell you. There are 36 inches in a yard because there are 3 feet in a yard, and there's 12 inches in a foot. Okay, so I'm just telling you that there are 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. And that information will be given to you. You don't have to memorize that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 3 and the 36. So I'm going to do 33 times 36. I'll set that up like this. 18, 108. So my answer is 108 inches. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try 324 feet is how many yards are in there? Now this one's different. This time we're going from small to big. Small to big means we have to divide. I know that there are 3 feet in 1 yard, which means I'm going to divide by 3. So I'm going to do 324 divided by 3. You get one group of 3 out of 3. Bring down the 2. I can't get a group of 3 out of 2, so I'm going to put a 0 up here. Minus 0. There's the 2. Bring down the 4. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 108 yards. Okay. Let's try another. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try, how about 56 feet equals how many yards? And there's going to be some feet left over. Let's do, well, there are 3 feet in a yard. I'm going from small to big, which means I'm going to have to divide. So small to big is divide. So let's do 56 divided by 3 because there are 3 feet in a yard. Okay, this is what I was talking about with the last one. There's 2 left over, so that means that there's 18 yards and 2 feet left over. So in this case, we don't have to add a 0. We could just write the remainder, all right, because they gave you the space for both. I'm going to try a couple more with you guys. I know this is a longer video, but I know this is a difficult topic for kids, so don't get discouraged if you don't understand it right away. All right, we'll keep working at it. Let's say we have 12 1/2 feet equals how many inches? Okay, we're going from big to small. Big to small means multiply. Okay, there are 12 inches in a foot. So I'm going to do 12 times 12, which you know is 144, but I still have half a foot. Well, 1/2 of 12 is 6, because half of a foot is 6 inches. So I'm going to have to add on 144 plus 6, which is going to give me 150 inches. Okay. All right. There are also some questions like this. Let's try some of the other ones. Let's do, how about if we had 8 feet and 7 inches equals how many inches? Okay. Well, first I had to figure out the feet, and then I'm going to add on the inches. I'm going from big to small. Big to small means divide. Okay. So let's do, well, if there are 12, means multiply. Big to small means multiply, not divide. Well, there's 12 inches in a foot, so I'm going to do 8 times 12. Well, 8 times 12 is 96. So that's 96 inches, but I still have to add on the 7. And that'll give me 103 inches. Okay? See, this was already in inches, so I'm just going to add it on. You may also see some questions that are comparison questions, like this one. What if I have 100 feet and I have 3 yards? I want to know which one's greater than, less than, or equal to. Well, first I'd have to convert them both to the same unit. So let's just say I want to convert them both to feet. So I want to change this to feet. I want to go from yards to feet because I want them to be the same. Well, going from big to small means I'm going to multiply. I know that there are 3 feet in a yard. So I can do 3 times 3, and that's going to give me 9 feet. Well, obviously, then this one's bigger. Okay. The key when you do the comparisons is getting them both to be the same. I took 3 yards and I turned it into 9 feet. So then I'm just comparing 109. So let's do another one. Let's do 74 inches, and let's do 2 yards and 2 inches. Again, the key being get them both to be the same. This is already in inches, so let's make this turn into inches, and I'll just add that on. There are 36 inches in a yard, so that means I'm going to do 36 times 2 because I'm going from big to small. All right, I'm multiplying. So I'm going to get 72 inches plus 2 is going to be 74. Hot dog, they are the same. Okay. And I think, my friends, that really is it. If you have any other questions, you just let us know. Don't panic. You need to make sure you click and get the information from the reference table as you do each question. The information's there. I know this is a little bit of a longer video, but that's all we're going to be doing this week is just practicing converting with that same series of steps: big to small, small to big to small multiply, small to big divide. So if you're having some trouble, don't panic. Use a calculator. Google it if you need to, but practice multiplying and dividing to make sure you're doing the right thing. Okay. Good luck.